Love is a way of building to a crescendo. Ride if you will, ride it with me.
Good morning, everybody. I saw something over the weekend that kind of blew my mind and made me say to myself, why didn't I think of that before? There's a lot of different reasons. So this is a maca pot, and I featured the maca pot a couple of times in the early days. My old one was silver. I experimented with putting it in the dishwasher. That failed. So I was able to buy a new one, and I was able to actually buy the one that I wanted originally, which is this red one. It's a rainbow. So it's a rainbow maca pot by Bialetti. So upgrade as far as I'm concerned. I have not broken it out in a while, but there's this thing that I saw on Instagram, and it made me wonder, could I do that? Would that be something that, would work? And what it is, and we're going to use the Coffee Family's coffee for this. I feel that that's the best coffee to do this with. I'll grab my scale. Let me grab my little tamper here as well. Bananas are back at Costco. There was like a time when Costco, for some reason, had no bananas. But yes, sir, they have now bananas. So that's wonderful. Yeah, that'll kind of fit in there. This kind of squeezes in there, so I'm just going to use the I don't know if that's going to work or not. It's probably going to be a mess. Whatever, I'll clean it up. It's the fun part. Now, I forget how much I need to put in for Bialetti, the maca pot. We will play that by ear. I'm going to do about 26 grams. For some reason, that's a number that popped up in my head. So we'll give that a shot. And go from there. So what you do is, and it just blew my mind. I'm like, oh my God, what an amazing thought. Does this fit in here? No, that's too big. Well, yeah, it's just too big. It's just something that popped into my feed, and it's not bad. Okay, we'll see. It's the add milk to the pot. Don't put as much water in, but put milk in the pot. Your milk will be warm, and then, all of the steam and whatnot produced coming up and out of the chimney and heating everything up will warm the milk up so that you'll just have a nice latte, right? Mind blown. I'm like, that sounds amazing. Now, of course, it's an Instagram video, so there was no ending. It was just do the thing, present, and then end. There was no, they didn't drink it, they didn't show a face, they didn't pull a face, they didn't smile, they didn't go like, oh shit, what have I done? It was just, it just ended. Look, you can do this. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I suppose I could. So there was really no ingredient list, there was no ratios, there was no, none of that. So, oh boy. So this should be interesting, to say the least. Now, from what I saw, and this is what really made me suspect a little bit. Now, they filled this halfway up with milk, which made sense. But then they filled up the basin, like to where you're supposed to fill it up to, which would obviously cause a problem, because it basically, this water fills it up basically to the edge of the spout here. Logically, you would fill this halfway full of water and this halfway full of milk, right? Otherwise, it would overflow and you'd have a mess. So they filled up the reservoir all the way to where you're supposed to fill it up with water. So I'm like, this is probably take 30. Oop, hello. I purged and ran some coffee through, so we should be okay. I'm just interested to see if this is gonna, let's do it in smalls. Okay. Ooh, it's a noise, ain't it? Smooth that out. Let me pull this out here. I'll just put it directly in the center, like a little catch cup. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is actually ridiculous. And I really don't have any place to put it right now. You don't really want to pack it either, do you? $26 grams. Seems like a good amount. Oh yeah, that takes it right up. Takes it right up. That's fun. I'm just going to put it in here for now. I don't want to put it in here because it'll slide down and then I'll have to fiddle with my fingers to get it to work. So I'm going to play with the... There's definitely something a little stuck in there, I think. It'll be all right. Okay. So for reference, that was a 40 in the maca setting. So, and now the rest really doesn't require measurement. It just requires looking and making sure that stuff's going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some milk into the pot here. Not a lot. Maybe about halfway. A little under halfway. So it's a little under halfway. I'm going to do the same with the chamber over here. I do have the water heating up, so it's a kind of a hybrid of James Hoffmann's maca pot thingy. All right, so that's pretty good. Now this is a pot that you put directly on the stove. If you have an electric stove and you want to use a maca pot, what you would do is you would have a fun little induction plate that you would put on the electric part. All right, so we're not going to fill this all the way up. I'm going to do it about halfway. It's a little less than halfway. Okay, we'll do it right about there. I'll be monitoring it, so it shouldn't be too insane. I'm going to put it on that burner. I'm also got to wrap it in a towel because now it is super hot. Okay. In. I don't know if that's enough water. It might not be enough water. We'll find out. This is going to be awkward as well. Kinda. It's got to get it started. You got to get the thread started, and then we got to make sure everything's secure. I saw it, and I'm like, ooh, something to do with a maca pot. That would be. Let's do something with a maca pot. That would be great, you know. And then of course you're kind of skeptical because, again, it is Instagram and TikTok, and a lot of times on Instagram they don't show the end. They don't show what happens at the end. They just show them building the monstrosity. You know what? No, we're going to do it with the one in the back because the burner's smaller. Here we go. All right. Burner back here smaller. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah, I zoomed in a little bit. I think that's water down there. I don't know. It's hard to say. So the water's hot. What's going to happen is that not only is the water going to turn into steam, start boiling, and go up the chimney, it's also going to heat up the milk that's in the pot. Is what I've been told is going to happen. So should be interesting. Should be interesting to see what happens. I saw this and I'm like, wow, let's give that a shot. That'll be a lot of fun. Part of the method that James Hoffmann illustrates is preheating the water so that it doesn't take as long. A lot of people kind of pushed back on that because, you know, good coffee takes a minute. And when you take shortcuts, you can lose not only the flavor, but you can lose like a lot of the history behind the coffee, and the flavor is the history. So, you know, the deep, dark flavors that you can get from a long boil can be lost. We're at, oh God, it already started while I was talking. Okay, we're gonna turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. Look at that. Oh boy. I couldn't tell how dark it was at the beginning. And you're not going to be able to tell how dark it is because it cooled down fairly quickly, I felt like. There we go. You modulate the heat a little bit. You can control how much coffee comes out, and you can keep it from burning. That's kind of a big part of why maca pots can be fickle, because you don't want to burn the coffee. I think we're just getting foam for the most part now. Oh, nope, there it goes. Hopefully I didn't put in too much water. I mean, there are some benefits from it going faster, but at the same time, you know, a lot of conversations are made over making a pot of coffee. And, you know, if you take away the magic of the actual coffee making, you lose a lot of the history behind. Now, I don't know. All right, that's good enough, I think. Also, I don't know how this is gonna. Settle. I don't know if it was even as dark as some of the things that we've done before. Of course, it's a medium roast, and a lot of the French roasts that they use, or Italian roasts that they use, Lavatas, I don't know, the lava coffee. It's a dark roasted coffee for the most part. It comes out super dark. It's the same with another brand that I had bought prior. It's not too hot. I can put it on here. I think we'll be fine. Yeah, we should be all right. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm kind of excited to see what happens. Just wonder how much the milk heated up. I don't really hear anything at the bottom of the Bialetti there. Let's see. Looks like a coffee with milk in it. It's not outrageously hot either, because the milk went in cold. So it really didn't have enough time to build up too much heat to boil the milk. So, but the bottom chamber boiled the water up and through the chimney. This is actually really good. This is definitely something you would want to add like a flavor syrup to, because this is amaretto syrup. It says it's from France. It's still okay, it seems. I bought one of these and the thing doesn't fit on here. So, but the pump works. I don't know if there's a date on this or not. Expires. Well, it expired in July. We should probably honor that expiration date and not worry about it. I'll throw it away. We'll throw it away. Not a big deal. I think I bought that 2 years ago, and I don't think it tasted very good, and that's why it's still full. Plus the fact I get all these nice coffees that I really don't want to add anything to. Not to say that the Coffee Family's coffee is not nice. I'm just saying that it is old, and therefore, you know, it's lost a lot of its luster. So, but this is really nice. That's a great way to introduce yourself into maca without, it's not too many steps. So basically what we did was we added milk to the pot up to about, a little less than halfway. And then in the bottom brew chamber, I added water, whether that's pre-boiled up or it's cold to start with. That's your preference. It'll take a little longer if it starts out cold. to the bottom boiler. I would add that about halfway up the side, so you'll get an equal distribution of both. Go for a darker coffee. Like I said, this is a medium roast, so the darker coffees tend to be a lot more dramatic when they come up out of the chimney in a maca pot. It's very dark, very rich, very bitter flavor that you want to dumb down. Sometimes if you have my kind of taste buds, you want to dumb down with a little bit of water or a little bit of milk. Otherwise, people just pour it out and take a shot. I forget what they call those things. There's a name for them, but that name escapes me right now. So it's actually really fun and really nice, and it was super simple. I just did it on a whim with just watching what happened on a TikTok or an Instagram video, and I was able to piece it together, minus some of the weird inconsistencies, such as filling the water chamber at the bottom of the pot all the way up. I'll never understand. Of course, I'll also never understand why people will do things when there's no clear ending to the steps, or if the steps are broken, but sometimes you can piece stuff together like that, and it turns out really good. And I will say, as far as maca pot coffees go, I think that that's really fun and really interesting, and something that if you have a maca pot and you've not tried it, you should try. And maybe when you try it, you'll be like me and say, why haven't I done that before? It really makes me want to go out and get a super dark Italian roast coffee, and maybe I will. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I'll find a super dark Italian roast or French roast, and we'll do it that way in the maca pot, add the milk, and see what happens. Because just like I said, this really is a lot of fun because it's basically just a super rich, dark coffee with milk, and you don't have to mix anything up except for when it's in the pot, of course. So, and it's nice and hot, but it's not too hot. It's not scalding, because when the water comes out of the maca, it's scalding. You gotta give it a minute to calm down. This with the cold milk in the basin, it just all kind of mixes well together, and it gets warm, but it doesn't get super hot to scalding. You don't have to skim a film off the top of it. It's in great shape. So I really like this. This is a lot of fun. If you have a maca pot at home, give it a try. Let me know what you think. I used old coffee because that's what I had. We'll see what I can do about different coffee. I will try my best. Thank you for watching today. I really appreciate it. Don't have anything to complain about. There's a ton of things to complain about, but I'm this. So I don't know what my voice will add to anything right now. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Give this a try. Let me know what you think. If you haven't tried it before, if you have tried it before, ask me where I've been. We will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.